Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to your reading for for May. This is your May bonus reading, actually. You have this family and heritage card. It says it's time to get back in touch with your loved ones you've been away from. You have this Pisces card. It says boundaries. It says set and honor your boundaries to avoid being taken advantage of. So there you go. Those two things can definitely work together, right, Virgo? So some of you might be thinking about people from your life, like from the past, like family members or friends or whatever. And this could say that you are inviting people back into your life, but you're setting boundaries, which of course that would be a good thing. Something that's kind of weird that I've noticed in these readings for May is the devil. So the devil has come up quite a bit more than normal in the readings for May. And there's kind of a couple of things that have popped into my head with the devil. And one is definitely habits. So I think people need to look at their habits, and it's actually quite simple. And I would also say it's a good thing as well, Virgo, that I think people need to make sure that their habits align with what they want. Your outcome card is the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is kind of your habits. So we'll talk about that when we get to the end. But like I said, I've noticed a lot of this devil energy coming up in these readings. I even said in the last weekly readings I did for the week of the 28th, I think, that I was talking about how there just seems to be this devil vibe, and not in a scary way, but again, I think people need to be careful of their habits and things like that. I also think people need to be careful of of putting things off, really, is more the vibe that I'm getting. Instead of saying oh, I'll do this tomorrow, do it right now. If you can do something right now, do it right now, whatever it is. And why, I don't know, but it's just the collective message that I keep getting, so it's definitely something I would pay attention to. Now, I actually feel pretty positive about this. I feel like some of you could be attracting a Capricorn. It could just be an earth sign that you're attracting here, just based off of what's going on here. So you could be attracting a Capricorn or an earth sign if you are looking for love. So I do feel that. The other thing I feel about the devil for you, Virgo, is creativity. Sometimes I feel this with the devil. These people have these animal horns on their heads, and the animal horns represent their baser instincts. So it kind of represents root chakra energy. Sometimes I feel that the devil actually represents trapped creative energy, if that makes sense, where it's you have to take that energy from your root chakra and you have to bring it up to your head and express it out into the world. And I definitely feel that for you, especially with the Eight of Pentacles at the end, because he is putting his work on display. He is creating something that could be creative, right? So if you have any creative ideas or, creative directions that you want to move in with your life, I would just do it with the devil. It's just that simple. Next, for your crossing energy, you have the Death card. The crossing energy in the Celtic cross can be what hurts you or helps you in the Celtic cross. And the Death card, of course, can represent a change or a transformation. I've felt this for Virgo for a long time. I definitely feel that you have been through kind of a challenging, kind of transformative time for many years, maybe since 2017 or 2018. And, I feel like you have changed a lot, more than most people, since that time, right? And, I think that you are kind of integrating some of those changes. I think you are solidifying some of those changes and making them real about yourself. And yeah, this is a good thing. I think a lot of you are also probably about to do something that you've done in the past. And here's what I mean by that. Is that let's say 20 years ago you quit a job and got another one. It really wouldn't surprise me if you did that again. It wouldn't surprise me if 10, 20 years ago you decided to change your messaging, which is something that comes up a lot for Virgo, and you're about to do it again, right? There's some sort of change about you that is about to happen again. It's kind of I wouldn't really call it a repeat cycle, although it kind of is, because maybe you're doing the same thing. But we're getting closer and closer, Virgo. I think you are getting very close to making this change, whatever it is. Next, in your thoughts or what's on your mind, you have the Sun card, which is amazing. The Sun card makes the whole entire reading more positive. And also in the area of your thoughts, this is very positive. It would say that you are thinking more positively, more optimistically, which is great. The thing about the Sun is that this little child here has this wall behind him, and the wall represents the wall that we all put up against our inner child. So the sun is a very good card, but sometimes I feel that the sun is encouraging us to be more playful, to have more fun, to do more fun things, and I definitely would do that if I were you with the sun card. The other thing about the sun card is that the sun represents ease. This little baby child, man-child thing here is carrying this big banner, and that banner is meant to look very heavy on the sun card. And so but he is carrying it easily. And so the whole point of the sun is to make things less complicated in your life, in work, in business, in love, in everything that you do. Are there things that you can simplify? And I don't know. I'm not you, Virgo, obviously. So I would say I would be looking at the things you're doing and thinking, how can I make this smoother, simpler, easier? Can I make this more effective? Can I be more effective? Are there things I can do that are more efficient? What is the answer? I don't know, right? So I would be kind of like thinking about that. And sometimes that means hard work. I'll give you a great example. I started running an experiment like months ago now, or like a month ago about, where I have increased the length of these readings, right? I'm getting them all to about 25 minutes. I just wanted to see what would happen, right? And I am kind of getting better result already with these longer videos. So it is more work, but I'm getting a much better result, right? And I think that would be a good thing for you, is to, like, sometimes a better result does come from like a little bit more work, but the result outweighs the amount of work that you're putting in, if that makes sense. Next, in the area of your foundation, you have the Fool, which is also a really good position for the Fool, because the Fool says you are ready, or you're about to take some sort of leap of faith in a new direction. So I do feel a lot of you could be about to take some sort of leap of faith in your life, which is amazing. You could be leaping towards something new, or like a new beginning, and I think that would be great for you. You could be also leaping away from being stuck. He has these ice-capped mountains in the background here. I almost never pay attention to those mountains behind him, but in your reading, I feel like I need to pay attention to those mountains. And so those mountains can say that you've been stuck for a while, and now you're finally taking a leap of faith forward towards something new. And I feel very good about that for you, Virgo. So, if you have been stuck, I feel like you're finally moving forward. Next, in your past situation, you have, this is the energy of what you're moving past. You have this card that says, bring love into the situation. You have this full moon in Scorpio. It says, it's time to release negativity. You have the sun in the area of your thoughts. I think you are being more optimistic. I feel like you have released the negativity, which is amazing. Scorpio is another thing that pops up for you a lot, Virgo. So it wouldn't surprise me if some of you were dealing with a Scorpio, or maybe you're about to attract a Scorpio. If you're looking for love, you have the Death card, you have the Lovers showing up here. You always get Scorpio with me, so it could be a Scorpio, but whatever, take it how it resonates. Just find a good person is what I say. You have the Six of Wands in the past. The Six of Wands can be a victory or a big success coming in for you here. So a lot of you could be creating more, it's like this could be some sort of win. I know what this is for you here, Virgo. I feel like some of you are chasing something, not in a bad way. It's like normally I would say, like, don't chase something, because if you're chasing something, obviously it's running away from you. But I kind of feel like you are trying to feel this again. Like a victory, an achievement. Maybe that's a better way to put it, is that something happened in your past that felt really good. And you're just kind of like chasing that high. You're chasing that feeling. And with the sun being about efficiency, you could be finding a way to repeat a success that you've had in the past. And that's definitely something I would be trying to do if I were you this month. Like, if you're not already, I would be looking at things that do make you successful or have made you successful and just repeat the success. It's just that simple. I also but this could also be you like trying to find a way to repeat that success over and over and over again, so that you can be more successful. And there's something about that here with the Six of Wands. Not only that, I get this feeling of you kind of like being vindicated here, Virgo, which I'm pretty sure I've said to you in the past as well. It's like, I really don't have a good example, but I think if this message is for you, then you'll probably know what this is. But I kind of get this feeling that some of you, maybe something happened to you in the past that could have been negative, and it's like now you're being vindicated, or it's like maybe you're getting like a sense of justice is kind of what I feel on this card for something that happened to you. It's like maybe someone gossiped about you or something, and now they're being proven wrong or something like that. I don't know, it's popping into my head that way. I just say whatever I feel, so there you go. Next, in the area of the very near future, you have this hourglass card. It says time is of the essence. You have this green man card. It says the forces of nature favor you, which is great. So the time is of the essence card, I kind of feel like this is saying something won't wait forever. Now, I would never encourage anyone to rush into anything. I think rush decisions are always bad decisions, so I wouldn't rush something. But I do kind of feel this is saying like at least figure it out, right? And so you have the lovers here also in the very near future. This might be like a person that you're interested in. I don't think this is saying rush into the relationship, but what I do feel like it's saying is that you could at least learn about it. You could go on a date with a person you're interested in. You don't have to make any big commitments or anything, right? You could just go and see what they're about, right? And so I feel like that's saying, like, obviously a person isn't going to wait forever. So if you're interested in a person, for example, it might be worth it for you to just, go on a date or go on a couple dates and see where it goes. You don't have to rush into the connection. Same thing with any decisions that you're making at this time. Like, let's say you want to, go take your business in a new direction. You could just test it. You could just try it and, try a couple of things and see what happens. I do it every 90 days. I have a 90-day rule. Every 90 days, I try something new. This 90 days, what am I doing? I'm testing longer videos. At the end of the 90 days, I just say, did I like that? Did I like the result I got? And if the answer is yes, then I keep doing it. Look at my channel. You will see all the 90-day experiments that I run on my channel. That's it, right? And it might sound simple, but like I always say, I fell on my head when I was 10 years old. After that, I became a dummy. And if I can do it, you can do it. So, and it's totally changed my life. And I get a lot more done than I've ever gotten done in my life. So by running these experiments, and I highly recommend it. And that's what I would do here. Like, just try an experiment for a short period of time. Don't make a commitment. That's the other thing, is that sometimes I think people, the lovers is gone apparently, but sometimes I think people think like, they prevent themselves getting into a relationship because they think to themselves, oh, this person doesn't look like the person I'm going to marry, but really you don't know. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So you don't have to commit to the person. You don't have to marry them tomorrow, but you can just see what happens. And I really feel that on the lovers, that it's saying just see what happens. Next, in your outcome row, you have this Imagine card and the Soulmates card. This could be you bringing a soulmate down to earth. It's kind of hard to see, but on that Imagine card, there's a girl who has a string wrapped around the moon, and she's bringing it down to earth. So she is literally bringing her imagination down to earth, or what she is dreaming. It could be a soulmate, but again, I don't feel like this reading has to be love for all of you. Number one, I feel like some of you already have it. Number two, it could just be something that you will love that you are bringing down to earth. And I feel that would be just a great thing for you to work on. Next, in the area of the next few months, you have the Strength card. I feel a lot of personal development type stuff going on here. Even I have two cards that I really consider personal development cards, and you have both, Strength and the Eight of Pentacles. So Strength is about quieting your inner voice. This lion is submitting to her on this card. It has its tail tucked between its legs on this card. So she is in control of her inner voice. And a lot of you could be taking control of your life or your inner voice over the next few months. And the thing is that she's getting a lot of attention for doing this. Like, who in their right mind would stick their hands in a lion's mouth? The answer is nobody. So she is getting attention for the effort that she's putting into her life. And you have the sun here. So this right here could say there's like a lot of attention coming in for you, Virgo. Next, in the area of your closest relationships, you have this Judgment card, which is crazy because your first card said it's time to get back in touch with your loved ones you have been away from. Judgment is literally like, kind of revisiting something, or it can be people from the past coming back into your life. So I wouldn't be surprised, and this doesn't have to be love, like I said. As a matter of fact, that card says family on it. So, I wouldn't be surprised if you were getting together with people that you like consider family, or that are family that you haven't seen in a long time. And it could just be good. It could just be a fun time. Judgment is a good card. And I feel it could make you feel good to see those people as well. Next, you have the Page of Swords in the area of your future feelings. Page of Swords is like curiosity. And we are definitely in a time of curiosity for at least the next few years. I always encourage people in readings to be curious, to ask a lot of questions, to do research, to look deeper into things. We have so much astrology that benefits this that I would be doing it. Anything that you're interested in, anything you want to learn or explore, that's what I would be doing with the Page of Swords. You have the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is about straightforward, diligent work. This is coming up as your outcome, which is amazing. The Eight of Pentacles, like I said, straightforward, diligent work, putting the work into things that you're working on and getting a result. Eight of Pentacles is like material success on the horizon. So it says that you could be finally getting a result for all the work that you've been doing. I kind of feel this is like everything, Virgo. I feel like you've been working on your life. I feel like you've been working on your love life, your business or career or whatever it is. So many different things. So I feel really good about this Eight of Pentacles because I feel like it's saying that you are getting results in life in general. And that looks amazing. It's also an amazing card for working on yourself, like I said. So if you've been doing any, personal development work, or if you're thinking about doing personal development work, or quieting your inner voice or whatever, really good card for that. With the Devil and the Death card, you have the Five of Swords. I mean, some of you definitely could be cutting out a devil. Not really a bad thing. Some people consider the Five of Swords to be a challenging card. I disagree. I think that, obviously sometimes the Five of Swords is necessary. It's like sometimes to win, we have to walk away. The guy at the front of the card here, he is the winner. and so, again, is that a bad thing? I would say probably not. With the Sun, you have the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands uses the sun as her guide. She has this sunflower right here in her hands, and the sunflower points towards the sun. So she makes decisions to move closer to the sun. She makes choices to move towards the things that make her feel better about her life. And that's exactly what I would be doing with the Queen of Wands, is like moving towards the sun, basically. With the Fool, you have the Two of Swords. I wouldn't rush into anything, like I said, but you have this card that says time is of the essence. The Two of Swords is thinking this or that, but she has that new island behind her over there, and really how she thinks something is going to go is not true, which is true for basically everything. I can't think of one thing in my life that went like 100% according to plan, right? And so the Two of Swords says nothing will ever be perfect. You will never take a leap of faith in a direction and everything is going to go exactly as you think, right? And I kind of feel the Two of Swords is saying, like, take the leap of faith towards something that you want to leap towards, because of course it won't be perfect. Of course things will come up. Of course there will be obstacles to overcome. But, like, ultimately where you're heading is towards something better that you actually want. So, I think it's just saying, take the leap of faith. With the Six of Wands, you have the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is like your heart. Your past, like, 3 or 4 years has been about Virgo getting in touch with their heart. That is what you have been doing. And so, it wouldn't surprise me if a lot of you were getting in touch with your heart, or have more. And, like, in the sense that you are figuring out what you love, not what other people love. I think a lot of the things that you've been through in the past have maybe been because of, other people's expectations, or, you've done things for other people, which is great. But at the same time, you can lose yourself when you do that. And, I've been saying this to you for a long time, Virgo, but again, these transformations don't happen overnight. But it's coming up in the past, so it's like maybe finally you are getting to that place where you are more connected to your heart, or you're doing things like for your heart. With the lovers, you have the moon. It's like you don't know what's going to happen. Like I said on the Two of Swords, the moon is fears, fantasies, illusions. The whole point of the moon is that the fool has to get from here to finish his journey. And so for a lot of you, it's about seeing something through to the end. And like I said, nobody knows what's going to happen in a connection. Something can always happen. It's like, I've heard crazy ass stories. I watched a story once about about a couple. They were in a beautiful relationship. The guy gets into a car accident. He gets frontal lobe damage and he turned into a monster, right? And it's like, that's horrible. Number one, I feel bad for that lady in that story because they had a great relationship. But it's like, nothing is guaranteed in life. But does that mean we should fear every little thing in life? No, because you have to live in a bubble, right? So I'd rather have experiences, and yeah, sure, as there's a famous saying, shit happens, right? So it's like something can always come up, but we can't live based off those fears. And I feel like the moon is saying that. It's like saying shit happens, right? But maybe nothing will happen bad in this situation. With the Strength card, you have the Judgment card. The Judgment card twice in your reading. You definitely could be discovering more of your purpose with that Strength card as well. This is coming up over the next few months. So the Judgment card, these people are being called up out of these coffins. The coffin represents their old life. Outside the coffin is their new life. And they are being called to step into their new life and to let go of their old life. So a lot of you could be being called to step into your new life. And I feel that, of course, would be great. You're making this transformation like we talked about. With the Judgment card, here we go. You have the Eight of Pentacles. In a lot of ways, you might be very busy. You might be working a lot on projects and things like that. This is coming up in the area of your closest relationships, but he's focused on work. So, I feel that kind of balancing the two energies, work and play, is going to be important for you. But this could also say that you are, like I said earlier, finally getting attention for the work that you're doing. Or you're getting the right attention. It's like maybe you've been attracting the wrong types of people into your business or your job or your career or whatever, and now your work is attracting the right type of person, and of course that will lead to better results in the future. So I kind of just feel like better results, better people as well. With the Page of Swords, you have the Knight of Swords. So this will move quickly. Don't be surprised if you get swept off your feet here. That's not really what the Knight of Swords represents, but I just get this feeling that some of you might meet a person that you're curious about, but you're not sure about with the Moon card. And then, I think if you give this person a chance, I'm not telling anyone what to do here, but, I think if you give this person a chance, it might actually end up moving very quickly. So there you go. The Knight of Swords also does say don't rush, though. I think it would be a better, two things can be true at once. You have this card that says time is of the essence, and then you have this card that says don't rush. So, but again, I gave you some good examples. I think it would be a good time for experimentation. So I think what the reading is saying is it's saying experiment, but don't rush, if that makes sense. You don't have to make this big, huge commitment to something that you're doing. You can try it. You can just see what happens without completely changing everything, right? And for whatever reason, I feel like that would be a much better approach. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, this would be really good in your outcome position here because the Knight of Pentacles can kind of represent progress or making progress towards something that you're working on, like progress towards a goal or an achievement or something like that. The Knight of Pentacles kind of would also say that you're finally getting started on work. The Knight of Pentacles normally is making no movement. He's the only knight in the tarot that isn't moving. But I kind of feel like you are finally making a move. You have this fan card. It says romance, celebration, and party. So yes, love definitely looks good. I would again, it's I feel like you're attracted to a person. Here's the thing about the moon as well, is that the moon can represent wearing your emotional armor. It can say that you're trying to protect yourself too much. So if you do want love, the moon says at a certain point you do have to be vulnerable to be in a connection. We can't protect ourselves from anything, which is kind of what I said on the moon card. It's I hear from a lot of people where it's they say, okay, in my next relationship, I'm going to do this, and this, all these things to protect myself. I'm yeah, but then you're not entering as the person that you actually are. You're entering in as a porcupine. Nobody wants to date a porcupine, right? Plain and simple. So it's at a certain point, you have to let down your emotional armor, and I do feel it's encouraging you to do that. You have this broken ring card. It says parting of the ways either in romance or business. I do think work is changing for you, Virgo, so I don't know. We pretty much said everything we could say about that in this reading. You have this cane card that says pay attention to your health. I don't know. You're a Virgo. You're probably eating a carrot right now, so I don't know. I'm not too worried about this one, but I have pretty much told everyone that I think April and May we really have to take care of ourselves. So make sure you're getting extra rest. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water. All that other good stuff. Next, you have this kite card. It says vacation. I think everybody has earned a vacation. I think everybody needs a vacation or needs to take a break. We've been asked to do a lot of work and a lot of introspective work. We've had retrograde since November, like 6-7 months of straight retrogrades, and we only now are getting a break. Although technically we're not, because at the beginning of May, Pluto goes retrograde. Although I wouldn't worry too much about that because Pluto is a big planet. And, it's a small planet. It's not a planet anymore, and it's very, very far away. But still. We've had all these retrogrades, so I think people need a break in general. You have this ram card. It says a stubborn, aggressive person. This could be the person you're getting vindication from. Remember what we said on that Six of Wands? I feel if you dealt with a stubborn, aggressive person or a person who caused problems, that you actually could be getting justice in that situation, like I said. But this is a very good reading here, Virgo. I love it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.